Brian Branch has found himself at the center of a firestorm that's been raging across the sports world ever since Sunday night's explosive post-game confrontation between the Detroit Lions and the Kansas City Chiefs. What began as a routine conclusion to a hard-fought NFL battle turned into one of the most talked about and shocking incidents of the season, when Branch, one of Detroit's rising defensive stars, lost his cool and ignited a full-blown brawl that left fans, teammates, and league officials stunned. The fallout has been swift and severe, with the NFL officially handing down a one-game suspension without pay for what the league called aggressive and entirely unwarranted conduct. According to the league's Monday announcement, Branch's suspension stems from his actions in the immediate aftermath of Detroit's 30-17 loss to Kansas City at Arrowhead Stadium. As the final whistle blew and players began exchanging post-game handshakes and hugs, tensions that had been brewing throughout the night boiled over. Branch, visibly frustrated after what he reportedly felt were several cheap shots and questionable blocks during the game, approached Chiefs receiver JuJu Smith-Schuster in the middle of the field. Within seconds, the situation escalated into chaos. Witnesses described the moment as shocking and completely out of character for the 23-year-old safety, who until now had been known more for his poise and competitive fire than for losing control. Videos circulating online show Branch exchanging words with Smith-Schuster before suddenly smacking him in the mouth. The blow, which caught the receiver off guard, immediately drew the attention of nearby players, and within seconds, several members of both teams rushed to the scene. What followed was a flurry of shoving, shouting, and pushing that quickly grew into a bench-clearing confrontation. Coaches and officials sprinted onto the field, desperate to separate the two teams before things got further out of hand. Even security personnel had to step in as tempers flared and chaos erupted under the stadium lights. In the footage that spread across social media platforms within minutes, fans can see Chiefs linemen stepping in to protect their teammate, while Lions players attempted to pull Branch away. The melee lasted less than a minute, but the damage was already done, both to the players' reputations and to the league's image. As the crowd booed and cameras captured the unfolding drama, Branch was escorted toward the locker room by several teammates and staff members. His face showed a mix of anger and disbelief, while Smith-Schuster was seen clutching his mouth, exchanging heated words even as he was held back by his own teammates. League sources say the NFL's disciplinary committee wasted no time reviewing the incident, relying on multiple camera angles and on-field reports from officials. By early Monday morning, after less than 12 hours of deliberation, the league announced Branch's suspension. The statement emphasized that physical altercations after the final whistle undermine the integrity of the game and the respect between competitors, and that Branch's behavior was considered an unacceptable breach of sportsmanship. For Branch, the suspension comes at a pivotal moment in his young career. Drafted in the second round out of the University of Alabama in 2023, he quickly established himself as one of the Lions' most promising defensive talents. Known for his explosive speed, sharp instincts, and fearless tackling, Branch had become a key figure in Detroit's secondary. His aggressive playing style had earned him praise from coaches and analysts alike, but Sunday's outburst now threatens to overshadow the progress he's made on the field. The Lions organization released a brief statement shortly after the NFL's ruling, expressing disappointment in the situation while emphasizing that they would respect the league's decision. "We hold our players to the highest standards of professionalism and conduct," the statement read. "While we support Brian as a member of the Detroit Lions family, we understand that his actions were out of line with what we expect from our team. We will work with him internally to ensure this type of situation never happens again." Behind closed doors, sources close to the team say Branch has been deeply remorseful since the altercation. Though he hasn't made an official public statement yet, several teammates reportedly spoke to him in the locker room afterward, urging him to keep his composure and not let emotions dictate his actions. One anonymous player told a reporter, "Brian's a competitor. He plays with heart. But sometimes that same fire can burn too hot. He just let the moment get the better of him. Nobody's perfect, and he knows he messed up." While Branch's supporters have called for leniency, arguing that the incident was a one-time mistake fueled by frustration, others believe the suspension is justified, or even too light. Social media has been flooded with commentary from fans and pundits alike, with some calling for longer suspensions for any player who initiates violence after a game. "There's a line you just don't cross," one former NFL player tweeted. "The game is intense, but when the whistle blows, that's it. You don't go hunting for payback. Still, not everyone believes Branch deserves to be villainized. Some fans pointed out that the game itself was heated from start to finish, with several questionable plays involving Smith-Schuster that may have contributed to Branch's frustration. One controversial moment late in the third quarter, where Smith-Schuster appeared to deliver a hard downfield block on Branch well after the play, became a major talking point online. Though no penalty was called, replays showed what many considered unnecessary contact, a moment that may have planted the seed for the confrontation that exploded after the final whistle. Detroit head coach Dan Campbell addressed the media in the aftermath, clearly torn between defending his player and condemning the behavior. "Look, Brian's a passionate kid," Campbell said. "He gives everything he's got every time he steps on that field. But there's no excuse for what happened. That's not who we are as a team. We'll deal with it, we'll move on, and we'll learn from it. I know Brian. He's going to come back from this stronger." In Kansas City, reactions were mixed but firm. JuJu Smith-Schuster, who became the unwilling center of the melee, declined to give a detailed comment when asked by reporters, saying only, "I don't know what he was thinking. I'm good. Just part of the game, I guess." His teammates, however, were more vocal, calling for accountability and stricter enforcement of post-game conduct rules. Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce reportedly told a local radio station that players must be better than that, while quarterback Patrick Mahomes expressed disappointment that things got ugly after a great game. As the league continues to crack down on unsportsmanlike behavior, the Branch suspension sends a clear message. The NFL won't tolerate outbursts that threaten the sport's image of professionalism. In recent years, the league has made a concerted effort to clean up on-field conduct, handing out fines and suspensions for taunting, unnecessary roughness, and other forms of unsportsmanlike behavior. Sunday night's brawl, broadcast live to millions of viewers, struck a nerve precisely because it unfolded in the public eye and involved players who should have been celebrating, or at least showing mutual respect at the game's conclusion. The by emotional intensity of football, of course, makes incidents like these difficult to eliminate entirely. Players spend weeks preparing for these matchups, putting their bodies and minds on the line. By the time the clock hits zero, adrenaline is still coursing, and old grudges or perceived slights can surface in an instant. But for Branch, the timing couldn't have been worse. His suspension means he'll miss Detroit's upcoming Monday night football matchup against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a nationally televised game that would have given him another chance to showcase his skills on the big stage. The financial implications are also significant. As part of the punishment, Branch will forfeit his game check, which for a player of his status amounts to tens of thousands of dollars. But more than the money, it's the reputation hit that stings. In a league where image matters as much as performance, being labeled as the guy who started the fight can linger far longer than a single missed game.